here are 6 tips that you can use naturally for kidney stones. So if you're a kidney stone sufferer or for prevention of kidney stones, these 6 tips are really going to help you. Now, first of all, let's talk about some of the causes of kidney stones. And, drinking too much coffee is a known factor in terms of developing kidney stones. And that could be, partly because of dehydration, but just drinking too much coffee and caffeine in general can be really hard on the kidneys. It could be a vitamin K2 deficiency as well, very commonly related to kidney stones, and that is related to calcium metabolism, which I'll talk about when I get to the tips, as well as metabolic syndrome. Being overweight puts you at higher risk of developing kidney stones. Certain medications can also cause kidney stones, especially diuretics, antacids, anti-seizure medications as well are correlated with developing kidney stones, as well as leptin resistance. Now, this is tied into our osteocalcin secretion and what that does in terms of inflammatory responses and putting that calcium in the wrong places, kidneys being one of them. But more importantly, let's talk about my 6 natural tips for those kidney stones. What can you do in terms of prevention as well? I've got those 6 tips, and number 6 probably is the very most important. Okay, tip number 1 is to make sure you're getting enough vitamin K2. Now, if your diet isn't providing it, and often it is very difficult to get enough active vitamin K2 in our diet, you may want to supplement. And we know that vitamin K2 helps with the proper distribution of calcium in our body. We don't want it depositing in things like our kidneys, forming kidney stones. So that vitamin K2 tells calcium where to go. If you are going to supplement, make sure that it is the MK7 form, a menaquinone form of that vitamin K2. That's what the research shows has the highest absorption. And I like it in a fat-soluble form. So in something like MCTs from coconuts, medium-chain triglycerides, really does help with that absorption because it is a fat-soluble vitamin. Okay, tip number 2 for kidney stones is to stay properly hydrated. So yeah, it goes without saying, just making sure that you're drinking enough and you're urinating enough will go a long way for the prevention, but also the treatment of kidney stones. Okay, tip number 3 is to fix your leptin resistance. Now, if you don't know what that is, I've got other videos on how to do exactly that. Really important for lowering that overall inflammation in your body as well, but also this is tied back to that osteocalcin and making sure that that leptin resistance isn't shutting down your proper osteocalcin distribution in your body and regulating that calcium flow. Okay, number 4 on my list is a castor oil pack. Now, this is something that you can place on your back. Of course, your kidneys are closer to your backside, and placing that on your back has a really profound effect on actually helping your kidney health and can help and has been known to, anecdotally, to help to break down kidney stones. So that is something that's really interesting. Okay, tip number 5 is to detox. So doing full body detox and addressing, some of the herbal medicines like bearberry, which is Arctostaphylos uva ursi, great and fantastic herbal medicine. It works like a bit of a diuretic and has been known to help with kidney stones. And really doing that full body detox a few times a year to really stay a step ahead of that overall toxicity that most of us encounter on a daily basis. And tip number 6, the one that I said is probably the most important, is natural sunlight exposure. So actually exposing as much skin on your body as possible to natural sunlight throughout the day. So in the morning as the sun is rising, midday when you get some UV, so UVA and UVB, building up the melanin in your skin, exposing your back to the sun. Even the red rays from the sun and the infrared and the near infrared are very healing to our kidneys. And you can probably feel that if you have allowed yourself to lie out in the sun and allow that sun to irradiate your back. It is remarkable not only how good it feels, but what it's doing internally. So those infrared rays are penetrating more deeply than the skin surface, penetrating into the kidneys, and can really help to normalize their function. Now, I did mention that castor oil pack, so I want you to use all of these 6 tips, but also check out this video, how to make your own castor oil pack. I'll see you there.